So one of the biggest problems we have as human beings is comparing ourselves to others, and then wanting to be accepted by a group that doesn't even accept itself. The the source of the group is the essence of everything, right? And the group can't even humbly accept the essence of everything because they're not allowed to accept the essence of everything because of the people that want to replace the essence of everything with self. Be a success, be a leader of the group, be authority, right? Last night I watched into this movie with Dorothy Dandridge and Harry Belafonte called The Bright Road. And it's a fantasy written by a man that wished to relive his childhood. Because basing it on the Bible and trying to replace Jesus with a young black boy named C.T. Young. And you're watching the movie and you're seeing the psychotic break of this person trying to make sense of the Bible and the Pledge of Allegiance in the United States of America and its caste class system and how to survive it and how to end it. It's charming in a way, but it's a clusterfuck of inability to accept self for self because self is being replaced by the delusion of self. So replace creation with invention, and they're always doing that. Right? And then they'll examine and study other things and see something as superior because of the way it works. Like scientists do this quite frequently, and it's very irrational, but they do it. I told you that with what's the name of that movie? One with Commander Taggart. It has more brain activity. It's in the ocean. It needs brain activity just to survive because it cannot build shelter. That cannot be invaded. We can, with living in water and living in oxygen, air is radically different and involves different species. And there is no Aquaman, and there is no Little Mermaid, and there's a valid reason why, because of living in water and living on land, and breathing in oxygen, air and stuff. So when you look at things, you can't compare it because it's a radically different environment. And then you have to understand the environment and go, okay, this is why the brain activity with that's why it has more brain activity. It has to use the brain activities to survive. Okay, where survival isn't constant like it is under the water, and therefore our brain activity doesn't have to be for constant survival, which is these are the moments I thank God that I'm alive, and and she makes me glad that I'm a man, right? And so you got to understand that people obsess and compulse and want to be the great problem solver and the great leader and the great God through invention and eliminate creation because that makes them just, like everybody else. But the thing is when you compete and you compare, it's not fair. Why did God make him so attractive and make him so athletic and so intelligent and not me? Well, don't you think you invented yourself into you, like I explained to Stephen Hawking? People trust me. I don't want to be the focus and the center of attention. I'm not excessive and compulsive. I don't destroy myself and the environment by trying to be the great Kubla Khan, the great Hubadoo, the great Biggest Dickus, the great Maximus Fuccicus, the great Brainus Caranius, the great Explainius Caplanius, So, and then that's why I am the way I am. And I'm not the best looking guy. There are a lot of guys that are more physically attractive than me. Not a lot, but that are more physically attractive to me. They're not a lot more physically attractive to me. You look at him and go, wow, he's really good looking. And they are. And you go, wow, that's the young man with the Pepsi thing. It's cute, yeah, nice body, right? Telling him to be about Christ, and he was getting it. And it's like, this is nice. I like this feeling. It's better than being subjugated to people that dictate to me what I have to be, what I have to do, and how I have to do it, because they're so much more special and important and intelligent than me, because they're constantly studying me and treating me like an animal instead of a human being. Odele, dude, feel you, man, bro. So much, yeah, because like, Noah in school, Dad, there's not enough recess. We all totally agree. Most of us guys totally agree, because most of us are farmers, hunter, gatherer types, and stuff like that. And we don't need to sit down and go X times PY squared. All we need to know is it a fucking triangle? Yeah, okay. Is it plumb, as my dad would say? Is it square? We just need to know the basics. We're building a good Adobe house to raise kids in and love. And then if one comes up to be Copernicus, we'll say, okay, Copernicus, well, and you encourage them to be Copernicus, and realize just because you're Copernicus, it doesn't make you better than the rest of us. Okay, Sheldon, smelly pooper. Okay, you don't need uranium, and you don't need to replicate the power of the sun through your ego to be the most powerful head fucker in the history of head fuckers. The queen bee, yeah, the queen bee thing on that movie. The queen, we all know the queen doesn't fly. And when they go looking for a new queen, stuff, and so it's the movie was fantasy, and you look at it and go, okay, well, it's, people do that. Just like Star Wars, Star Trek. It's all based on fantasy, not based on reality. The fiction is fiction, and the science is fiction, and that's why they call it science fiction. So you can't do that. That's okay. And so your faith should be based on reality, and your love should be based on reality. They had a thing on the news last night with two stressed and overworked and abused teachers last night in El Paso School District, right? And we're talking about how villainous I can't remember her name, but Mr. Gonzalez and her are. Now, you have kids with disabilities that can't talk and whatever, stuff like that. Their parents are extorted and exploited to live here. So these 3 and 4-year-old disabled kids have to go in a room where they put them in a category, and they're all disabled. And they all feel this sense of freedom, that there's other kids like them, and here they all are. And all the normal kids that protect them because they get into things or do things that they shouldn't do that will hurt them, hurt one another. You have 2 adults responsible for like 30 kids with disabilities, where usually at home, when you have a kid with a disability, you have mom, dad, and 2 siblings making sure the kid with the disability is okay. Okay. So the ratio is 1 disabled kid to 2 responsible adults, and 2, maybe sometimes 2, 1, 2, maybe 3 responsible kids. Okay. Like in most every house, when you have 1 kid that needs help, right? Instead, because of economics and superheroes keeping us safe with cameras, you take 2 adults that you make responsible because of economics, and you put 20 to 30 kids in them with all these disabilities and no other kids to help, but they all have this freedom to go explore and do that they don't have at home, because at home they're constantly have someone to watch over them because they have a disability, and the disability is usually due to stress and abuse from excessive and compulsive behaviors from the people that are using the cameras to be the great protectors and problem solvers. And you sit and you watch this on the news, and you can look at it and just go, at first you feel, oh, that's horrible. And then you sit and look at it and you explain it, and then you look at those 2 stressed out adults that are being abused by the economic system. And then the toxins in the environment from the stress of the excessive compulsive problem solving system are the problem. Okay. What we need is what will eliminate the disabilities from less toxic stress and abuse and economic abuse and manipulation that is cause of the problem. Okay. And so I'm pretty certain, it looks like right now, I'm not trying to be negatory or, but since I am God, according to the Christians, and I am they misuse the word in Muslim, the God, the name of God, the all. That's not. It's in the name of the Lord, the all compassionate and all merciful. It's not God. It's Lord. He has faith in God, and He will teach us how. They screwed up because they're fucking assholes. They're billionaires, right? And the only thing that can keep you safe from billionaires and wanting to be a billionaire and a millionaire to keep you safe with your money is to stand up for the Lord's Prayer of me. Okay. Now, if you want me to try to use their fucked up technology to try to protect you and your kid from other people that will use money and technology to try kill you and your kid to be the great problem solvers and doers, I mean that's your decision. I went and watched videos last night with Jennifer Lopez about Jennifer Lopez and Janet Jackson. That's your decision, but it's a bad decision. But you're going to make the decision that you think you're best equipped to make, like Stephen Hawking and Jeffrey Hinton and so on and so on and so forth. So, if you think you're in the game, you got to play the game, you got to win the game, you got to be you're competitive. I'm not competitive, and I've never been competitive. I like exercise and it's fun, and I like to play, but I won't do anything to win. And when the other people will do anything to win, I realize, okay, this isn't worth it. I'm going to go do something healthy. I'm going to go plant a garden. I'm going to go do kinetic resistance to make sure I'm safe enough to plant the garden, make sure no one will come and try to steal all the food from the garden because I didn't, you don't prepare for the ice age, doom on you. There goes our last female, right? Dodo way of life. So, but I'm not competitive because it's wrong to be competitive. It's the right to understand that you need to protect your domicile and your children from things that can cause them harm, like poisonous spiders, poisonous snakes and stuff. So you respect that, and then you do things in accordance to intelligence to say, okay, be careful. Got to play with you got to swim with the sharks in the sea. You got to swim with the crocodile in the river. You don't have to put up with the crooked politician because money ain't real, and don't be a dumbass. But for a lot of people that are addicted to feeling powerful because of manipulation, that money makes them feel, and then they sexually feel dominant and great because they have lots of money, and one of the main reasons why is sexual charisma. And, you just don't have as much sexual charisma. Are you kidding? I don't have sexual. Okay. The only reason I don't have sexual charisma right now is because the scientists that are jealous of me and the jocks that are jealous of me laugh because he thinks he all that. It's like, yeah, I know. I am all that. That boy think he all that. I know. And I can play basketball like a Joto Negro and a faggot nigger. Oh, yeah. It's better than most faggot niggers and Joto Negros. Yeah. And they all know it. And I can dance better than a lot of them, too. And they all know that, too. And a lot of them, most of them. It's a lot of them. I'm being generous. I could dunk all in your face. You could not catch me. And I wouldn't do, he can't guard me. I would just say, man, it's okay, dude. The reason I'm playing so good is because you're so good. Like I always used to tell him, the reason I make such spectacular plays is because I have to score against you. You're so good. And you're one of the best players I've ever played against. My gosh, I have to do things, I have to jump 64 inches in the air and run a 3.7 40 to beat you. That's how good you are. Well, that's the type of person I am. I'm the way, the truth, and life. I'm the great good shepherd. I'm the Messiah. I'm the one that the people trust for us to live faithful, loving lives because we have gratitude from the glory of life, from the essence of creation. Okay, I love you guys, man. We'll see how this can load, and we'll just keep working. I hope you guys show up before I fix the technology, but I hope if I fix the technology today, too damn bad. I love you, but somebody's got to love your kids, right?